driveway, barely. So yeah, obviously the videos have slowed down. Next week it's supposed to warm up and we'll get back to normal. But yeah, 2 hours of blazing the wood stove down there today and you could still see your breath. It is ridiculous. So I can't emphasize enough how much I appreciate every one of you. Keep sharing, tell your friends, subscribe. So the reason I went down today is get rid of a bunch of trash, and the Accord finally was giving us a pretty big issue. Turns out by the time I've been driving it for 2 weeks like this, but it's slowly getting worse. And by the time I made it to the shop today, I could not shift the car. And I just assumed that it was because of where the pin goes through between the pedal and the slave cylinder. I assumed it was because that was rounded out. For the life of me, can't find a bushing for it. I'm sure it's somewhere. I was gonna rig it up with a zip tie, and I realized what the problem was when I put it in. Again, for those of you just checking us out, this is a 96 Accord with a 92 motor, transmission, pedal assembly, everything. When I put the pedal assembly in, I knew there was a bolt that went at the back of the pedal assembly, but there was like an inch gap between where it bolted and the pedal assembly. And I thought, no big deal, the supports I have on it should be plenty, it'll be alright. Turns out it wasn't. The whole pedal assembly shifted. So what I did for now, being that it's that cold and I just wanted to get the car back to drivable and home, I put an extra support at the firewall. It's a quick remove. Nothing was modified on the car or the pedal assembly, so when I go to fix the back end of it, I just pull that out, it'll be fine, and never know it happened. But what I'm going to have to do is get a small piece of pipe or something to cut down as a spacer to take up the inch gap and run a longer bolt in it. Not a big deal. What I did today was just to get us by until next week when it's warmer and we can actually tolerate to be in the shop. With any luck, we'll get some of that ice melted off the driveway. So yeah, that's where we're at. We also have, I took it out, I just had a alternator rebuilt for the Civic. I was sick of remanufactured ones. We've gone through two. We've now owned the car for just about 2 years, and this will be the third alternator. So I sent it out. I told them I don't want to deal with this crap again, and they also recommend we beef up on the power and the ground side on the cables. I have heavier cables. We're going to run all that in. So we're going to do all that next week. We have an F-150. We'll probably do a how-to video on brakes on that. Ice and something else going on. There's also what I believe to be a vacuum leak on the Accord. When I started up in the morning, it idle surges like crazy, and we've gone over all the common fixes on that. I didn't show any of that. I believe there's a vacuum leak because when I come to a stop sign, it don't quite idle like it used to. A lot of symptoms point to a vacuum leak, so we'll go over that too next week. But again, I want to thank everybody. I really can't just stress that enough. We're a far cry from where we want to be, but we're definitely coming along better than I expected. So thank you all. Share this out, tell your friends, tell your family, and let's get this out there. And we're now on the road to 1,000. See ya.